Last weekend, I used my pressure washer to clean the patio. It removed a great deal of the stain that was on the patio, but it didn't completely remove it. And I believe the problem is that the pressure washer that I own is electric and does not have the highest pressure rating. My pressure washer, for instance, is rated at 2050 psi, whereas the gasoline-powered pressure washers run between 3000 and 3500 psi. Consequently, the lower pressure rating of my washer meant that the head did not rotate as quickly as others that I had seen online. So I needed to move the head across the surface much more slowly to effectively clean the surface. Also, as I became more familiar with using the rotational head, I learned the right amount of overlap for each pass and noticed that the best cutting action was not at the leading or trailing edge of the head, but at the sides. Still, the effectiveness was not consistent across the surface, and I believe that was largely due to poor preparation of the surface before applying the stain. So what I'm going to do this morning is give it another go. I'm going to take what I've learned about this rotational head that I'm using, and I'm going to go over the patio another time. This time I'll do my stripes in the opposite direction, and I'll do it more slowly, and I'll overlap more and see if I can't remove a lot more of this stain that I have on the patio, and get prepared to stain it again, only this time to stain a better prepared surface so that I have a more uniform color after the new stain is applied. Now here I think that my driveway is a perfect example of what I'm talking about in the patio area. You can see that my driveway has large areas of black, sooty looking material all over the surface. Now, if I came out here and stained this patio without first cleaning away that algae, the areas where the algae is, the paint or the stain will not stick as well as it should. And I believe that that's why some areas of my patio came almost completely clean, despite my poor technique. So to start with, I'm going to do a close-up shot of me re-cleaning this area here to my right, and I'll do it at normal speed, and we'll see how it does whenever I go in the opposite direction of the stripes, and just go more slowly and make sure that I don't proceed until I see that that particular surface is clean. Now, last weekend when I was doing this, I wasn't sure that going over it again would make it any cleaner, but I think that, you know, rationally looking at the results now, it could have gotten the surface cleaner. So this is where I'm starting, right here in this little area, and let's get started. Alright, I finished cleaning this patch, and as you can see, there are still some spots where the stain wouldn't come off, no matter how slowly or repeatedly I wash that spot. And I think that's going to be all right, because as long as the stain, the old stain, is adhering well to the surface of the concrete, I'm not so concerned that painting over that will compromise the adhesion of the new coat. So if the new coat sticks to this old stain that's on the surface, and the bond between the old stain and the new stain is good, then I think I can rely on the old stain's grip on the patio surface to take care of my preparation problems. And here I just wanted to give you all a look at what this head looks like when it's not working, and then when it's working and water's going through it, these heads are rotating like this, and here's what it looks like. It's pretty darn effective. It's interesting when you use the wand with the different angled spray nozzles to kind of experiment with it and see where the actual cutting action is within the spray pattern. And with this particular nozzle, maybe it's because it's dirty, but it seems to cut best at the edges of the spray pattern. So I was just doing a little test with the wide angle spray nozzle on my driveway, where the driveway is really only stained by the algae and fungus, and this pressure washer and that rotational pressure washing head work really well on just the mold and the algae buildup on the concrete surface. So I wouldn't want anyone to get the wrong impression that this pressure washer and this power head are poor substitutes for the commercial models. It's just that in this particular application of removing stain from the patio surface, it could be more effective. Now that I've completed the second pass with the pressure washer, let's look at what I've accomplished. You can see when I started, the patio was painted with a reddish stain and had developed a coating of black algae. After the first pass with the pressure washer, I had removed all the algae, but I still had patches of stain that looked like they could be removed with the second pass. After the second pass, only the areas covered by the eaves of the house were still stained, as were areas that I had previously retouched with a paintbrush. I think the concrete's ready now to receive a fresh coat of stain and sealant. If you think restaining the patio would be entertaining to watch, be sure to subscribe and click the bell so that you receive a reminder when I post new video. Also, if you like this video, click like and leave me a comment. Until next time, thanks for stopping by.